Estamos aqui com Benoit Gouet, o enólogo responsável pelo champanhe Dom Perignon. What do you think is the most important contribution of Dom Perignon to the champagne history?
I would say he has a double in heritage. There is a technical one, and maybe the most important thing is that he has been the first one to turn a defect, the bubbles that left in the bottles after the bottling, into a quality. And then there is also a spiritual in heritage. He's been a man of vision, certainly demanding, looking for the best possible quality. And I would say that if the technical in heritage has been given to the champagne, the spiritual in heritage has been given to Dom Perignon as it is today. The idea of creating the wine as excellent as possible, I would say, really a commitment to quality, a commitment to the best possible expression of champagne.
And when do you think the rosé is a better choice than the white champagne?
I think the rosé, because of its own attributes, the color, the aromatics, much more fruity, red fruits, and also the palate, very elegant, very sophisticated, is even better, I would say, at night for the aperitif, because it really develops open up your senses, develop your I would say your happiness. And obviously, compared to Dom Perignon as a white, it has also a higher ability to go with food, with very delicate meats, with more complex food like Italian food, that kind of things.
We could have the whole meal with champagne?
With champagne, yes, but I wouldn't say with one champagne. And the more sophisticated the dinner, the more sophisticated the wine. So I would say Dom Perignon, yes, could do it, but certainly you should go from one vintage to another one in order to be able to cover the dynamic of the meal. Maybe to start with Dom Perignon 1995, that is the current release of Dom Perignon, fruity, fresh, well-rounded, but still tonic. Then maybe the vintage 1993 with more roundness, richness, but yet elegant. And to finish with the Rosé 1993, that is much more about red fruits, about richness and structure, and more body on the palate.
When you do a blend of Dom Perignon, how many wines do you taste?
First, we can start with 40, 50, 60, up to 70 different wines, and we will select in between those wines the ones we like, we need to recreate the style of Dom Perignon. And it will depend on the years. In some years we won't be happy with the wine, so we won't create Dom Perignon. In some other years we might use only 30 of the wines, in some other years 50 of the wines. There is no recipe, there is no formula for Dom Perignon. Every year is different. Sometimes it's not good enough, it doesn't exist. When we create Dom Perignon, it's always a new blend, but with the same spirit, with the same style, the idea of balancing the Chardonnay and the Pinot Noir, the maturity and the freshness, balancing the density and the lightness, to resume the idea of making it as sophisticated as possible.
The white Dom Perignon is always a blend of Pinot and Chardonnay, or
only Pinot Noir? Only Pinot Noir and Chardonnay since the beginning. And the style of Dom Perignon, certainly its uniqueness is based on the fact that Dom Perignon is always harmoniously, perfectly balanced in between Chardonnay and Pinot Noir. The Chardonnay gives the citrusy nuts, white flowers nuts, nutty nuts on the aromatics. It gives the roundness on the attack and then the freshness underlining the wine. When the Pinot Noir develops more red fruit nuts, more maturity, more structure and length on the body. So the two are complementary, and by blending them properly, you can definitely achieve more complexity and really extend the taste, extend the wine.
And to do the rosé, you vinify a red and a white and then blend?
Yes, we have the Chardonnay turned into white. Some Pinot Noir are turned into white. And we are going to blend red wines from Pinot Noir, white wines from Pinot Noir, and white wines from Chardonnay to achieve the final blends.
Okay. Thank you very much.
Santé.